3, 2, 1. Good afternoon, Facebook. I'm Clint, and we're now on our excitingly 18th episode of Facebook Live. You know, if our Facebook Live episodes were human, they'd be able to buy cigarettes now. Right?
Right.
So, I'm here with Megan and Galen.
Hi, guys.
So, guys, today we're talking to you about things to do whenever roles start to change with your family and with your parents. So, it's a very touchy subject.
It's a hard subject to talk about. I mean, whenever you're dealing with anybody aging, the body wears down and, life happens. We're all getting older every single day, so you have to talk about it.
Yeah, and guys, whenever we're on our 2 Cents Live, we're going to talk about stuff that deals with lifestyle, with health, and with wellness. And this is one of the things that I think is something important to talk about because it is something that we do see in our business. Megan, you've even talked to clients on the phone and seen clients that are dealing with this type of stuff too.
Yeah, and that's the most important thing, I think, is to plan. Like, it's a hard subject, like you said, but you need to talk to somebody, so you have everything in place. You have all the information that you need if something were to happen.
Absolutely.
So
we have 3 points for you guys today on this episode of our 2 Cents Live that's going to talk about things to do when roles start to change and you have to start taking care of your parents. So the first one is warning signs and things that you should look for when you're dealing with your parents. And some of these are really common sense. So this is my point today, is to have an understanding of what's going on with your parents, really be in communication with them as well, because there are going to be certain signs that you're going to see. Some of the things like landscaping not being done, the house is dirty, they're dirty, their fingernails and stuff like that are dirty, or things that you would see that typically wouldn't have happened before. If they're always dressed to the nines and now you only see them in pajamas that are dirty, then there might be something going on.
confusion, memory loss, stuff like that.
If their bills are late, if their mail's stacking up, if they're not just engaging the way that they used to, definitely depression. You can notice things happen, so I think that the warning signs are something that are going to be obvious for a child, especially because you know your parents well.
Well, I mean, I saw my grandmother go through things, and there were definitely signs that were on that list of warning signs, that you could definitely tell that something was just not right. And she was fine for a while, but eventually you have to make that decision to step in. And whenever you do that, Megan, what's your point that you should actually have
do you have a power of attorney? I mean, who's going to make the decisions if you're unable to make those decisions for yourself? Having a healthcare proxy, a financial proxy, someone that can, just help you understand what's going on and what's going to happen with your money or your healthcare.
Right.
So.
And it's all started with a conversation.
Right.
The first thing you have to do is really sit down and talk to your parent and let them know.
And what do they want?
Yeah. Find out what their wishes are.
You have to have that open dialogue with them. And my point today is accountability. Really, know your parents' information. In case of emergency, the doctors are going to ask you guys questions. We need to be able to answer those questions as children to help our parents get the care. I mean, blood type, religion's preference. What else?
If they should pass, what do they want done with them? Stuff like that is stuff that you really should know. It's not an easy conversation to have with your parents,
And making sure everything's up to date. So, including, insurance or the beneficiaries up to date on the information, stuff like that. So making sure all the documentation is up to date too.
I think discussing things with your siblings would be good as well.
Yes.
If you're not an only child, these are definitely discussions that should happen as a family together so that everyone's out in the open. But the first thing is to have a conversation. If you see some of the warning signs coming up, I guess that would be first, is to see something happening.
Right.
Then you have a conversation. But still, as a backup, you still need to know all of the emergency things that could happen, should happen, and what you should do in the case of an emergency.
Yeah, definitely. Blood type and, have they had those conditions before? But, as consumers, it's great to have policies like long-term care riders on insurance or on annuities where the annuity will double to pay for long-term care. As a consumer, it's great to have, but when you need that care, your children are going to need to know that you have something like that to help take care of you.
Right.
So it's really around that kitchen table, the conversation as a family of what needs done, what I've done to prepare, and that's kind of where we come in. I ask a lot of tough questions to people, and it is uncomfortable sometimes to answer them, but, I have those real conversations.
But a lot of time, you've been dealing with it so long now that it's probably like second nature for you to go out and sit down and have those difficult conversations with families. A funeral director doesn't have a bad day every day, but you do. Sometimes you go out and sit down with clients that are not going through the best of times or that recently lost a spouse or loved one. So
those are the really hard ones. Yeah.
it's everything that you should know on our page is about stuff that you should take care of for your financial future and your mental well-being, and this is really one of those things.
Absolutely.
So
Yeah.
I thought this was an important thing for us to talk about on our 2 cent slide because we do have fun, Next week, I'm really excited about next week. I don't want to tell you guys too much.
It is our Mother's Day edition, though.
Yes.
We have to go after Mother's Day, but we have something pretty cool planned, yeah.
We have, it's going to be a special government and civil employee services Mother's Day, our 2 cents live.
You're not going to want to miss this one.
Yeah, right?
It's really fun.
I think it's going to be fun.
But have those conversations,
Yeah.
open dialogue, talk about things.
Yeah, like how it's a beautiful day out today, guys. It's wonderful here in Western Pennsylvania. How are you guys feeling? We're coming into summer. We have our ribbon cutting coming up soon, too.
It's still pretty fast-paced around here, but I like it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely settled in. I love the new place.
Yeah.
The new awesome is awesome. Office is awesome.
Yeah.
So, I don't. Do you guys have anything else? I'm kind of dragging it out here. I don't have anything else. Do you?
No, but just ask questions like we were saying, and we're always available. If you do have questions, we're available to you.
And even
call
so,
us.
if you need to, there are certain things that you're going to need in your financial future, like life insurance and disability insurance, annuities, retirement funds, all of that stuff we deal with, and we can help you deal with that stuff to get, and that's another thing too, I want to make sure that people understand, we can fix whatever it is that they need to get to where they want to go, I don't want people to be confused that we're just on Facebook Live to talk about stuff, and we're a useless.
No, seriously.
We do have
but
purpose.
Yeah.
we do definitely have a purpose. You can come to us and you can ask us those questions that you do feel uncomfortable about, and we can give you the guidance and the direction to go that fits your lifestyle and your needs. Because I've said it 1,000 times, every family is different. Every situation is different. And talking to your friends and knowing what your friends has, that's great. But that doesn't mean that that's what you should have as a person.
Well, especially, and this all goes back into the same thing. Having health care and being able to take care of yourself in those last final years can be a burden on your family. And it's something you have to prepare for a long time in advance, and that's something we can help with, for sure.
Yeah.
So,
Great.
well, our 18th episode is over. Guys, we'll see you next week on our special 19th episode. It's Mother's Day. Have a good Mother's Day this Sunday, guys.
Happy Mother's Day.
Happy Mother's Day.
Have a good weekend.